I didn't have very high expectations for New Saga, but it turned out to have a decent amount of enjoyable moments. I was pleasantly surprised that this show succeeded with multiple story reveals and dynamic use of plot points that they set up from the beginning. Even though we saw a decent amount of what was happening in the future in that first episode, it didn't feel like we already knew everything, and it moved along towards the future date after the time loop without feeling repetitive. And each new piece of information that we got along the time loop journey made it fun to theorize how we were going to get from point A to point B across those 4 years.
I think it works out better than other shows that preview the end of the show at the beginning because this is a time loop, so things will be different. We just don't know how different, as he already changed quite a few events from his first time that we knew of.
I don't think it's too much of a spoiler to say that my theory is that Kyle is the usurping demon king that he fights before time looping.
This is one that I brought up early as a joke, but they kept dropping more hints to it being a possibility, especially when they were talking to the demons, and we had to go back and double check a detail in the first episode that made the theory feel even more likely.
Yeah, they said there wouldn't be a demon without horns, and we saw black feather imagery around Kyle after the first episode, so suspicious. But the show starts to fall apart with certain character interactions as well as with the fighting. Theron is creepy with his comments and treatment of women, even though it's presented by the show as if it's supposed to be comedic. So that bothered me, along with the fact that the female characters in general did not feel quite as humanized as the guys. The fight sequences were a little awkward. It felt like there were pauses or dead air that would stand out and make it a bit uncomfortable to watch, like especially fighting the Hydra. And sometimes the logistics of when and where to fight were a little strange. The final episode was a complete setup for a season 2, as well as having what looked like a ton of Easter eggs for people that have read the source material.
I'm interested to see where this world goes if we do get a season 2.
It wasn't a standout show, but it wasn't a waste of time either, so New Saga was a 7 out of 10.